Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys an update to my Danger Batteryman deck profile. Now, recently you guys probably know that Danger Tsuchinoko and Jackalope just came to 3 on the ban list, so we updated this the last time when they got moved to 2, so since they got moved to 3, we obviously have to update this deck again. And honestly, I don't know if just my build the previous time was a little bit suboptimal, or if just bringing them to 3 now just makes this so much better. But honestly, like the testing and the deck building process for this has just been so much better. So very excited to bring this to you guys because I feel like this is a massive improvement over to my last list. So we've got a lot of changes into the extra deck. And we have a lot of changes in the main deck, just playing a lot of like the power cards at 3 and trimmed a lot of the fat off, I feel. So very exciting. So we'll get into that as we move along. So anyways, we're playing 3 copies here of Batteryman Charger. This deck is basically based off of an OTK strategy. So we are playing a lot of like methods in the extra deck in case our opponent makes us go first and we can set up a couple like disruptions. However, we do primarily want to go first, break through our opponent's board, and just OTK them with like fairly high attack point monsters, and that's just basically the name of the game. So 3 copies of Charger. This card, when it's normal summoned, you're able to special summon another Batteryman from the deck, and then also this card gains attack, 300 attack for every Thunder type monster on the field. So it actually inherently goes to 2100 just counting itself. And then the card that you generally want to be special summoning from the deck is going to be a copy of Batteryman 9-Volt, so we're playing 3 copies of him. You can play this card as a starter, but primarily you want to get a Danger onto the field, tribute for Charger, and then special summon 9-Volt from the deck, because when he's summoned, you're able to add another another Batteryman monster, rather, from your deck to your hand, and so that is going to enable you to add a fuel cell to your hand, and then as long as you have 2 Batterymen on the field, you're then able to special summon fuel cell from your hand, and that special summon is not a once per turn or anything. So you're able to, if you get multiple copies of this to your hand, just summon out several fuel cells and just kind of start swarming the board there. And then also this card can tribute one of your Batterymen to bounce one of your opponent's cards back to the hand, which is also just really incredible. So that is the whole Batteryman package. It's kind of all you need. I cut Solar out of the deck. Previously in the other build, I was playing Solar and like Monster Reborn and stuff like that, so I could like send stuff to the graveyard. Also playing Double Summon in case you needed to like summon 9-Volt first, but all of that has been trimmed out of the deck, and now we're just going for a very consistent aggro strategy with the Dangers, and in my opinion, it is just so much better. So let's move on into the Dangers. We're playing 3 copies of the recently unlimited Tsuchinoko, this card being able to special summon itself from the hand or draw a card, and then also if it gets discarded, it's able to just special summon itself back from the graveyard. Just also insane. It just guarantees when you see this card, it guarantees you're getting a level 3 monster onto the field. Then we're playing 3 copies of Jackalope. This card is pretty similar, but he just allows you to special summon a card from the a Danger from the deck if he gets discarded. So for that reason, playing 3 Tsuchinoko, it means that if you summon 1 Tsuchinoko off of itself, and then you have Jackalope discards itself, and then you can just special summon another copy of just another one of your Tsuchinokos from the deck, then that enables you to go for some rank 3 plays, which is really cool. Just helps you to swarm the board a little bit. Then also another way that we can get some 3s or 4s or whatever's onto the board, we're playing 3 copies of Chupacabra. This enables you to get a one of your Dangers back from the graveyard. So if you've gone like Tsuchinoko summon itself, Jackalope pitch itself to the graveyard, special summon another guy from the graveyard, and then you go Chupacabra, send to graveyard, and then Chupacabra can then bring Jackalope back. Then you can actually do some really cool plays going into either your Gossip Shadow with 2 of them, or in this scenario, you now have 3 level 3s, and you can go for a Shuriken if you're trying to go for that OTK, or if your opponent makes you go first, and you want to just get some big negates going. So Chupacabra, I moved this up to 3. This card has been insane since I put it to 3. You just want to make sure that you get some discards to the graveyard first, and then Chupacabra is going to be able to basically Monster Reborn one of your dangers from the graveyard. Danger Mothman doesn't really need much explanation here, just playing 3 copies of that just for the extra discarding. Then we're playing 3 copies of Danger Nessie just for consistency. You can add whatever danger that you want to hand when it gets discarded. Then recently one that I bumped up to 3 copies here is Danger Bigfoot. We're playing one of the alt art just because I absolutely love it. But yeah, these 3 copies of Danger Bigfoot are very, very big. I'm not really sure why I was only playing this at 2, because again, we are going for that OTK strategy. So you want to make sure that like one of these can special summon itself from the hand, hopefully, and then hopefully another copy ends up getting itself discarded to the graveyard so you can pop a face-up monster. For spell trap removal, we have Thunderbird, and then also just to like blank lower our opponent's attack points down, we have 1 copy of Danger Dogman. This card just being able to decrease your opponent's attack by 1,000 each is really, really cool. Getting on into the spells, we're not playing too many spells. As you guys can tell, this is like kind of a monster mash deck. But we're playing 2 copies of Small World. This was in my last deck profile, and this is the one saving grace, I think, from my last deck profile, because I thought that this was just a fantastic deck, just to be able to get into your charger as fast as possible. Because if you look through here at all of like the cards that you can possibly bridge with Small World, all of your dangers are really great. A lot of them, the only thing that they share in common is that they are dark. Some of them have similar levels, like these are both dark level 3s, so you can't really bridge them that way. But generally, Danger Mothman is going to be your best bridge. So if you have a danger, like you have Danger Jackalope in hand, you just activate Small World. Small World then will grab Mothman from the deck, reveal him. They are both darks, but they don't share anything with attack or defense. And then Danger Mothman also has the same attack as Batteryman Charger. So that's going to be your main bridge. That's going to help you to just automatically be able to get Charger into your hand, set up a tribute monster on the field, and then go in for your OTK there. So just really great. Love this card. Just wanted to play it at 2 because it is a neg 1. And it can get a little cloggy. With how much we draw through the deck, you're going to be probably seeing this card or Charger. So that is the main game plan of the deck. It is the choke point of the deck. If your opponent can Ash Blossom you on your Charger or something, that is going to be your choke point. But hopefully it won't happen here, because we do have just other ways to work around that as well. So we are playing 2 copies of Thrust, an extra way to see Small World. So we're basically playing 7 copies of Batteryman Charger, which is just insane. And again, you draw so much with this deck, you are going to see one of those cards, unless your opponent is like really stopping you with all of their interruptions. We're playing 1 copy of Pot of Desires. It's a little risky sometimes to go Desires when you still have your Batterymen in the deck, but sometimes you just need to draw cards. For another card that can help us either break boards, rip cards out of our opponent's hands, or draw cards, we have Triple Tactics Talent. Recently limited to 1 on the ban list, but we are also playing 1 copy of Called by the Grave, and then also 1 copy of Instant Fusion. This enables us to go into Thousand Eyes Millennium, or sorry, Millennium Eyes Restrict, or Thousand Eyes Restrict if we want to break through boards. So these 2 cards being able to help stop hand traps, also really, really good. So just again, just sort of enabling you to be able to get to your win condition, and hopefully you can stop your opponent from negating your Charger when that moment comes up. We have 1 copy of Regeki for a board breaker, and also 1 copy of Short Circuit. You gotta play this card because it's so cool. And then 1 copy of Change of Heart, just because this is also searchable by our Triple Tactics Thrust, and just a very cool card. There's also kind of a theme in the extra deck. Either we're going for being able to steal our opponent's monsters, or just kind of like adding extra stuff like Call by the Grave that's going to stop our opponent's hand traps, or burn damage. So we'll get into all that. So for the extra deck, we're playing 1 copy of Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. This card is just very nice when you get 2 of those level 3s going, just to be able to stop your opponent's hand traps. Really, really great. Just again, this card stopping Nibiru, all that kind of stuff, just very, very helpful. Then we are playing the 1 copy of Ashura King. Again, if you can get that 3rd body and you can get like 3 level 3s on the field, this is what's really, really going to help you when you're trying to go for that OTK OTK push, or if you're going first and it's like, okay, I'm not in the Nibiru window or anything, and instead of going into Gossip Shadow, I'm going to go into Asura King because this card is just a little bit better. Then we're going to go on into 1 copy of Gagaga Cowboy for our rank 4s. We can get into 4s fairly easily, and there are a lot of times where you're going to be trying to go for that OTK, and you're just going to be a little bit shy on damage. So sometimes Gagaga Cowboy does come up. If you're going for your OTK and you have Batteryman 9-volt and you have like a Mothman or a Chupacabra on the field, then you just at the end phase or during the main phase 2 go into Gagaga Cowboy and burn them for that last 800 damage, which is just really, really crazy. For another rank 4, we're playing 1 copy of Dugaris just to be able to draw extra cards. Or also he can be used in battle phase. Like, he's very versatile for like what the strategy is trying to do. 1 copy of Baguska, just in case our opponent hand traps the hell out of us. We can always just go into him and sit on him for a turn. And then 1 copy of Photon Strike Bouncer. This card is just so funny because if you can end on Fuel Cell, I've always said that Photon Strike Bouncer is kind of like the rank 6 Gagaga Cowboy in this deck. Because if you end on 2 Fuel Cell and you're attacking into your opponent, that means that you've done at minimum 4,100 or 4,200 damage, and you probably attacked with another monster. That definitely means that your opponent's life points are going to be a little bit low. And then if you get your opponent like to 1,000 life points or less, and you end on Photon Strike Bouncer, it just literally means that they can't play any monsters or any monster effects. So it's very similar to Cowboy, how it can just like end the game with burn damage. If you end on Photon Strike Bouncer, your opponent's just kind of in a lock. It's similar to kind of like Red Eyes, the Red Eyes Black, whatever, Metal XZ Dragon guy. Why can't I think of his name? But anyways, for our instant fusion targets, these 2 cards, you want to play both of them because this helps you when you're going second, trying to suck up your opponent's monsters. And Millenniumize Restrict also is just really nice for like if you're trying to get around hand traps when going first, or you can even do it when going second, trying to break boards, but Thousand Eyes can be a little bit more proactive. And then for our Link monsters, we're playing 1 copy of Anima, just for when you go into these guys, you can also go into Anima to be able to suck up even another monster. Then we're going into 1 copy of IP Masquerena, 1 SP Little Knight, just for helping break boards. We are also playing the Dark and Light Charmers, just because we're playing both a lot of monsters of both attributes, and there are definitely things in the meta that will always be useful for taking for both of these. Right now, Blue Eyes is in the meta, and Ryzeal, all that stuff is totally good for this card to take. And then Dark, obviously there's always a lot of Dark monsters. And then also, again, going with that theme of trying to steal our opponent's stuff, we're playing 1 Moon of the Closed Heaven and 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. These cards, since you're not playing a deck that like can consistently like break through boards super easily, these cards are just great. You can just get dumb bodies onto the field, and then if your opponent has a towers, you just go into Underworld Goddess, and it's just so good. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for the deck profile. Really quick, we're going to do a little bit of a combo just to sort of show you how the deck can flow. All right, so let's get into it. So we're just going to sort of go on with the premise that our opponent has an established board, couple of things, couple points of interaction, but we're just going to kind of work through it as best as we can. So we are going here, going into our 5-card draw and then acting as if we have a 6th card, like we're going second, and this is a hand. Okay, so we have, I swear I shuffled, but yeah, we have 2 Nessies and 2 Bigfoot, and we also have a Tsuchinoko, so we have a lot of dangers, which is really good. So let's just start off. We want to, I think the best way to do it when you have multiple copies is you actually want to activate one of the ones that you have like only 1 copy of. So we'll activate Tsuchinoko, hoping that we discard one of these guys. So activate Tsuchinoko's effect, we get a 2, so that would be the Nessie here. Nessie is going to get discarded. Tsuchinoko will summon and draw a card, and then on the next chain, oh my god, I swear I shuffled. Nessie is then going to add us any danger monster to our hand, and we might as well go Jackalope, just because we really want those 3s in rotation. Then we are going to, we should just be safe to activate Jackalope here. So we'll go Jackalope, and we get a 2 there, which means Tsuchinoko gets discarded, and he summons himself, draws a card, and then the Tsuchinoko is then going to special summon itself from grave. Since we have this setup, there is no reason not to just go for a Shuriken right away. So this is great. I don't want to make this look too biased. This is definitely one of like my better test hands, so please don't shame me in the comments when it comes to like this looks really, really good compared to like when I was doing this in testing. But we are then going to activate the effect of Nessie in hand. So let's go for Nessie, and we get a 5, which unfortunately means that our talent gets discarded. But that's going to be okay. We still just have tons of draw power here. So Nessie will summon and draw a card. And hey, there we go. We found the charger. So really good example there of like how like you just can kind of dig through the deck and just find those cards that you need. Then we are going to, we don't want to lose the charger, so we're going to tribute the Nessie. So it's really nice we were able to get to Ashura King and a tribute monster before charger. So then we'll go 9 volt, and then 9 volt will add fuel cell to hand. We will then special the fuel cell, and then this would be where like if our opponent had something else that was like maybe going to mess us up, like something that's like, hey, if this card goes to the graveyard or gets destroyed or something, wipe the board, kind of like a absolute 0. You could just use fuel cell to pop 9 volt and then bounce that card to the hand or extra deck. But we're just going to sort of go into the idea that we still have all of these guys. We're then going to activate our Mothman's effect. So Mothman will go now, and we discard the second card because we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Bigfoot gets discarded, and this was the best thing that we were hoping for. We had 2 out of 3 odds that it was going to happen, but summon Mothman, draw a card, and then Bigfoot is going to pop one of our opponent's other monsters, so that's really cool. We can also then just try to go into another good rank 4 play. If we want, we could go for Dugaris. And he would be really, really good as well, just because he's going to enable us some good plays. We can either draw 2 and discard a card, or skip the battle phase of your next turn, double the attack of one monster you control. Like we could double the attack of Ashura King and then like let it attack just tons and tons of times. So that would be really, really cool. So all of that kind of to keep in mind. Let's just say that we go into Dugaris. And we can even do like the draw 2. So we'll draw 2, discard a card. And so then maybe we will discard this 9 volt. And then we can special summon Fuel Cell. Oh boy, okay, this is the best test hand that I've ever had for this. So this just looks really, really cool. But and then anyways, we could also just try to do a Hail Mary and see if we can summon this Bigfoot off. Okay, and the good luck had to end at some point. But anyways, here's where we could go in for our attacking and do some pretty big pushes. So this is, again, definitely on the high end of like what a hand test is going to look like. But still, in general, you guys get the idea. You guys saw that it was really powerful how we are playing the dangers. You can just feed through the deck and then eventually find that charger. Again, this was a little on the high end, but still, we saw a lot of the danger names that we play, but we also play tons and tons of danger names, so you're going to see them. Like, you can still see there are still plenty of danger names inside of the deck. Yeah, if you want to see your turns go this way, definitely play that high octane number of dangers, and it should help work out. But thank you guys again so much for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, if you enjoyed the content, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.